Hi, I'm Jale, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a timeless general pick a card reading for what is your soul contract. What's the soul contract that you have with them? So think of a person that you have in mind there and how you want to sort of understand really the sort of connection between you guys, what soul contracts are in place. We're going to do three options here. I'm going to ask you to pick out of one of these three. Obviously, if you need extra time, you know, please do obviously pause the video. Option one is the purple dice. Okay, so that's option one. Option two is the green dice. Option three is the blue dice. So what soul contract do you have with them? As with all general readings, please do take what resonates and leave the rest. Obviously, without me giving you a personalised reading, it may, some information within each of the picks may not resonate. If that's the case, either choose another pile or get in contact with me. We can have a look at a personal reading. I am going to be using the dice for these readings. Obviously, when we do sort of pick the cards, we'll get, gain depth based on obviously the pick you've chosen. So again, if you haven't decided, we've got the 1, which is purple, 2, which is green, and 3, which is blue. So as I say, if you need time, pause the video and let's go. If you picked dice 1, pile 1, this is the purple dice. This is going to be a what is the soul contract you have with your person. Let's have a quick look. We're going to use the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. In fact, no, we're going to go with the Akashic Tarot first of all. And then we're going to pick some tarot cards and also oracle cards for outcomes, just to get some more depth. This is the Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Klingler and Sandra and Taylor. Let's see what soul contract you have with them. What have you been brought together for? What's the reasoning? Okay, so those who picked dice 1, the purple dice, please. What is the soul contract they have with the person they're thinking of, please? It's the person they're inquiring about. What is the soul contract, or one of the soul contracts, or all of the soul contracts they have, please? What are the soul contracts for number 1, purple dice? Thank you. Just going to link in as well. Interesting. One or both of you may be indecisive about what it is you want about certain things. This could be a bit of a deal to get you more sure about what it is you want. Maybe you've had a lot of experiences that weren't as productive, and this is a little test. It could be that it didn't start off particularly great, this connection, and they're trying to see whether or not it's something that you will give up on, or they want to see your it's almost like a bit of a testimony to see whether or not you're going to, sort of work at it. And how do I want to say this? It's like, will you keep trying to work through problems, or will you dismiss it as someone else that maybe isn't for you? Let's have a look. What is the soul contract, please, Spirit, for those who pick number 1, the purple dice? What is the soul contract? Thank you. Interesting. Yeah, this is the same as what I'm getting. Okay, one sec. Let me just pull 3 more cards to clarify the cards we've got, and then we'll be ready to go. I'm just sort of downloading what they're saying as well to me. Yeah, everything changes but you. It's like they're asking for consistency. Are you willing to work at something, or would you, sort of sit there and go, well, I don't want to do this? Because it's like they're asking whether you've been hurt before in relationships that you haven't known whether to continue with, and so now you're very cautious with sticking in something for too long. I feel like you've had potentially outcomes before where you've stayed in something too long, and then you've looked back and thought, why did I waste the time? I feel like they're asking you to remove that for the moment, because this is, not the same. It's like you can't place that onus on the new, thinking that, oh, if I don't leave, if they've done me wrong, then it's, I'm being walked all over. Yes, obviously, if they're abusing you, mistreating you, then obviously that's not acceptable. But no relationship is perfect. You know, we are all different people, and so sometimes it takes a while to get into the swing of things. Not every especially nowadays, it's not always as straightforward. Okay, let's start. So we've got the Archangel Michael card here. Okay, this is for me saying that you need to have a little strength here, a little certainty. You need to gain some strength based on having courage to step forward and finishing the job, and or not holding yourself back out of fear that something is going to go wrong or you're going to get hurt, because I feel like this could be a pattern of your behavior. And it's interesting because combined with that, we've got the Lookout card. It's almost like you're kind of looking for something to go wrong, possibly. Now again, I'm not going to sit there and go everyone's doing this, but this could be a sort of an energy where you're preempting and, you know, something to go wrong, and then you're maybe sort of not as open to receive. The message here is to really open yourself up and to gain that clarity and strength in order to be, you know, a receptivity, you know, because it could be that you're putting the energy out there that you are not willing to be vulnerable, or you're not. And again, don't get me wrong, this can also work subconsciously. So the other person could instinctively have been picking up on that and therefore hold themselves back. So you've got to remember, if you're in a position where maybe the other person is mirroring you and is holding themselves back, you need to understand, is this you also doing that subconsciously, and therefore that's why they're doing it? Because again, mirroring. The soul contract here is to move through the hurts, one of them at least, move through the hurts of what has previously been and open yourself up to change. Because otherwise it's like you may be discounting things before you've got the full awareness of what the bigger picture is. Okay, we've also got the Two of Keys here, which is talking about the treasure. There's something very unique in this connection, which is essentially going to benefit, and it's not just in a superficial kind of financial way. This is you know, I'm talking about a spiritual treasure here. This is something that is, you know, it holds value. There's a value behind this. There's something to be gained from it. Okay, we've also got the Queen of Scrolls here alongside the treasure. All right, so there's something that either you or the other person gives to this. The scrolls are usually about communication. Actually, no, it's not. It's action, and yeah, it's the mind, communication and study as well. Okay, so have you written something off before you're sure? Do you tend to make quick decisions based on an opinion or a past decision, or do they, you know, this is about coming together long enough where you can discern the reality from previous patterns of behavior, because it's asking you to use discernment here and maybe not count yourself out of something before something is developed. Okay, so with the Sands of Time, this is the next card. This is talking about a timing thing here. This is talking about longevity. Alongside the Willow, this is usually a bit of a blessing. It's like, this is something that is an investment of time that is going to pay off. It's like, if you've had patterns of behavior where you've made a split decision, you've gone on a first date and thought, heck no, I'm not dealing with that. But then actually, if you'd have sort of waited it out, it could be this person's shy. Maybe they, you know, they don't sort of fully open up, and actually you've discounted something that is actually going to provide some benefit. And actually there is some kind of deeper connection here that maybe you're not as aware of, that has yet to evolve or be shown. And so, although obviously if you're sat there going absolutely not, this could be something karmic that needs to be released first, you know, and you've got to discern, is it the karmic thing or is it absolutely no, you know? Because this is the thing. The next set of cards, we've got the King of Roses. This is about a King of Cups energy, all right? So at the moment we've got, it's like the Queen of Wands with the King of Cups. So obviously Queen of Wands is usually a passionate, fiery energy, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Sorry, swords, not yeah, it's the mind, isn't it? So swords. So Queen of Swords, it can be someone that is an air sign, beg your pardon, who is Aries, can't even speak, could be an Aries, could be Gemini, Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. The King of Roses is usually water signs, so it's Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And interestingly, they have the Four of Keys, which is clearing the way. Okay, so it's like there are obstacles here again to add to this, a bit of a disillusionment here, where you could be sat there thinking, absolutely not, there's too much going on, I'm not going to deal with this. Whereas maybe the contract is here that they have to clear their end, and you have to obviously understand that these things can take time. It's an investment in time. You know, they could at some point be looking at you know, creating a future, creating longevity within this, and it's just a matter of getting the timings right. I mean, from what I'm seeing here, the soul contract is that there needs to be confidence built up. There needs to be a different thought pattern about how you're arranging these things, or what your expectations are. If you've been let down a lot in the past, I thought this could also resonate. But however, if you're resonating more with the King of Swords, where you have obstacles your way and you're sat there thinking, well, this is going to be a nightmare to do, is it? Because this is the thing. Usually when we're kind of going along a journey and there's obstacles, there's a reason for that. There's things that person needs to learn. So it could well be that the time that you're taking to decide how you feel, they're going to be at their point clearing the obstacles while they do it. So it's like you're each in your individual brackets trying to work out what's going on. But overall, the process and things that you'll be learning from it is going to add into your development and growth in order to reach a certain stage where there will be a benefit to the relationship. Because again, like I said, there's a lot of talk about time and investment into this. Okay, don't, again, with the Archangel Michael card on the lookout, are you sat waiting for something to go wrong? Are you sat, because this is about your own self-confidence now, and not counting something out that otherwise could be of benefit, but it's just not at the right time, or there's not quite a resolution around coming together. What else can you tell me about contracts, please? For number one, the purple dice. What else can you tell me, please, Spirit? About contracts, soul contracts between the person watching this and their... Right. Okay. Cards went everywhere. One sec. Yeah. Okay, let's soul contract, please, between the person watching this video for number one, purple dice, and the person they're thinking of, please. What is the soul contract? What is the soul contract? What is the soul contract? Okay. There's also potentially, and before anyone kicks off, because every time I mention the word ego, people get really defensive. Everyone has an ego. It's about navigating around and, you know, sort of molding the ego to suit. I'm not insulting people and sitting here thinking I'm perfect, because obviously I'm not. I'm human, you know. But there is definitely something around the ego here. It's views of the ego. Okay, so is there a difference in maybe how your lifestyles are, how you deal with things? Maybe you're thinking they're judging you, maybe you're judging them. Okay, is this an ego thing? Are you needing to get past an ego thing where you're viewing them in a certain way and actually it's not factual, and actually the deeper bond between you guys is meant? Now, it could be that the other person's doing that. Maybe the other person's made a judgment and it's not correct. And, you know, they're clearing the obstacles, or you know, they're sort of having to understand this, and when they do, then they're going to come to their senses, and there's something buildable. There's something buildable in all this. This is about balance and growth, okay? This is about balance and growth, because we've also pulled the balance card, okay? We've got the garden, 5 of roses, the 6 of forces, the waterfall, and the 3 of forces, the bird's nest. So this could also involve setting a tone for the relationship and having kids. With balance, this is about recalibrating that energy before a long-term commitment is made. With the garden and the bird's nest, it both suggests fertile ground, you know, especially with water, when you've got that fertile ground with obviously that sustenance, that emotion. Now, can you see on the 5 of roses card here, we've got the little boy with a pea shooter. He's shooting at the waterfall, okay? This is about a strong emotion. This is about tempering the emotions for the benefit rather than to create fear. Are you usually scared, or maybe they are, that they, you know, getting into relationships, that this is going to be overwhelming, this is intense, this is that and the other, am I going to be in control? All of this energy is tempering out in order for you to learn and then grow something. Again, with the garden, it suggests planting things in order to wait for their growth, their full kind of outcome. Especially with the bird's nest, this is usually very much a family planning card. This is about creating a family, a unit. So at the moment it's suggesting that potentially you have come together to create a family and or have a lifelong commitment. But again, a few bits and pieces need to be looked at along the way before that can be, you know, sort of settled, balanced. So let's pull from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Spirit, what can you tell us, please, about those who picked number 1, the purple dice? What is the soul contract, please, they have with their person they're thinking of? What is the soul contract or soul contracts? Soul contract or soul contract, please, with their person. Soul contract or soul contracts. Interesting. Okay. Right, here we go. They wanted me to put 4 and then 4. What is the soul contract? Soul contracts, please, Spirit. What is the soul contract? One last card. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Sums up what I just said. Okay. First card, intuition reverse. Is one or both of you needing a bit of a spiritual awakening? Okay. One or both of you could be a little bit in denial about your ability. We've got Mercury and Cancer here. This is very much that receptive, watery energy that the boy was, you know, pea shooting in the waterfall. This is about being receptive and open to something, okay? Combined with that, we've got convention. Maybe there's a concern about stepping outside the box and being different. You know, one or both of you could have a concern about being different with the intuition side of things, where it's not acceptable. And maybe you guys have been brought together to open up that element, that intuitive element, that kind of ability together. We've also then got the control card here. So again, a little bit of ego. Could be a little bit of a power struggle between you guys, but it's all meant to recalibrate. So we've got Jupiter in Capricorn here. We are currently in Jupiter in Capricorn. We are currently having that is a transit that currently is happening, is taking place. So this is going to be very much about the paternal line, is about, you know, whether or not the male leads, you know, the more traditional side of things. So it could be that maybe one of you or both of you are more traditional than the other, and that's a sticking point. And maybe because the soul contract there could be about balancing that, recalibrating it, so you're both equal, balanced. And again, confirming the control card is the rebellion card. So again, one or both of you could be designed to sort of rebel against that. Maybe past lives where you've had certain agreements, you know, where you wouldn't fit the mold. Bit of you maybe sort of Uranus retrograde, or Uranus in a sort of placement that is causing that kind of challenging aspect. But this is about, again, removing the ego and not sort of, again, no power struggles, looking at sort of balance and fairness and compromise, a balance within the whole kind of, you know, energetic bond that you have as a couple. Okay, and again, clarifying that we've got power. What is it you or the other person is concerned about here? Is it like you're concerned that that person's going to take over your life and then you don't have a say? And if that is the case, you know, where has that come from? Because again, it could be that this has actually been brought in around you in order to recalibrate that, where either, you know, this is for you to learn that not always you can be in control, or maybe for them to learn that maybe not always they're in control. Take it as it resonates. But confirming and clarifying the power card, we've got empathy. So this is about someone with an understanding, sympathetic ear, really trying to get to the bottom of this, okay? Because one or both of you, whoever this sort of power struggle side resonates with, it's about balancing that out and taking that edge off it, because it doesn't serve the purpose. So you could be being brought together for that reason as well. That could also have been about the obstacles and blocks from earlier, okay? So just bear that one in mind. And then lastly, the last thing is, it does also confirm here that there is definitely a family element. You guys could potentially have been brought together to have kids. We've got the romance and the birth. So this is all about getting that balance right, ready for your family. This is the second time it's been clarified now with this set of cards, or 2 decks of cards. So from where I'm looking, it suggests to me that your soul contract is essentially to bring children into the world, and if you're not your own, then maybe others, you know. And again, it doesn't, again, I can hear now, I don't want kids. That's fine. The birth doesn't have to be kids, but when I'm looking at the family nest, and then kids in lots of the cards, and then birth, it could be that maybe you're opening up your home, or you're starting a project where it's a very nurturing, caring project together. Maybe you're here to do a mission work that involves that with kids, or with, you know, opening up your home to kids, or adoption, or anything of that energy, okay? Very Cancerian energy. So again, if you're not in a position where you even want kids, then obviously take that as it would resonate, which the birth doesn't have to be that. It could be new beginnings, opening something, businesses, you know, anything to do with that. And it could be a business that cares for people, you know, that you're both combined with, that is the reason you've been brought together. So let's pull some outcomes. We'll pull some from, I wanted to use the Archangel deck here, so we're going to use the Archangel Oracle deck for outcomes for you guys for part 1, and then we'll roll the dice. Okay, for those who picked 1, purple dice. What is the soul contract they have with their person, please? What they're thinking of. What is the soul contract, please? What is the soul contract? Number 1 is the purple dice. What is the person they're thinking of, and their soul contract or soul contracts, please? Thank you. Oh. Okay, again, talking about abilities and developing ability, this is clairvoyance. Okay, I'm helping you, your spiritual insight, to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So it's about recognizing potentially that heavenly love before you're getting into a partnership with someone on the earth plane. You're fully connected with your higher selves. You're fully connected to source or whoever, and therefore you're able to understand sort of that unconditional loving element. You're getting your insight from your guides, and again, if it's not you, it'll be the other person. Another soul contract, please. Outcomes for number 1. Yeah, here we go. Passion. Okay. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. Okay, so this is about trusting, again, reverting back to what Archangel Michael was saying in the first cards. This is about putting your trust into where your heart is leading you, because it won't lead you wrong. And last but not least, what is the outcome? What is the soul contract? Soul contract is relationship harmony. Archangel Raguel, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflict are being resolved now. Amazing card. What a lovely card. So yeah, really positive soul contract here. Looks very strong. Hopefully that's been of some help. We're going to be posting videos Monday to Friday. Thank you for all your likes, subscriptions, shares. Massively appreciated. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a brilliant Christmas. And yeah, take good care. Bye. I just realised I didn't roll the dice. That was so, I'm so glad I quickly realised that. Right, so let's roll your dice, purple. Oh, funny. Right, so for those who picked number 1, the purple dice, what is their soul contract, please? Show me what their soul contract is. So we've got a number 2, okay? So it could be that maybe you're going to start seeing more effects of this in the next 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. There could be something significant around the number 2. This is also Taurus. Okay, so this is about, well, this is about practical, building practicality, building a practical relationship, you know, sort of the luxuries in life, you know, building up enough kind of around you to live in comfortably. All right. Taurus is also about enjoyment of the physical kind of senses. So, you know, sort of good wine, good food, sex, you know, that kind of thing. So it could be that maybe you guys have, if you look at your composite charts, maybe you have a lot of Taurian planets or planets in the 2nd house. You could also have met potentially in Taurus season, which would have been April 20th up until sort of May 21st or something. So, and again, if that didn't happen, then maybe look out to the next May, the next Taurus season, because again, with this number 2, it looks like there could be something happening with that. Sorry guys, a little bit in sort of jumped the gun there, forgot about the dice. Again, I keep doing that. So anyway, thank you so much, and that's the end of your pile 1 reading as to what the soul contract is with you and the person you're thinking of. Hello, pile 2, the green dice. Hello there. This is going to be your pick a card reading, your timeless pick a card reading for what is the soul contract you have between you and your other person that you're thinking of. So let's pull first of all from the Akashic Tarot deck by Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. Let's pull from there first of all. Let's get the dice ready for when we need to roll at the end. So those who picked number 2, the green dice, please. What is the soul contract or soul contracts with them and the person that they are thinking of, please, Spirit? What's the soul contract? What is the reason they've been brought together? What is the soul contract or soul contracts, please, between the person that chose number 2, the green dice, and the person they're thinking of? Thank you. What's the soul contract? What is the soul contract, please? What is the soul contract? What is the soul contract? What is soul contract? Interesting. What is... Looking good, looking good. I'm going to pull a few more before I start reading. Okay. Okay, what is the soul contract? All soul contracts for number 2. The green dice, please. Thank you. Okay, got one more card to go, then we'll begin. Okay. Okay, so first of all, first card we pulled was the King of Keys. This is essentially King of Pentacles. This is the father, the husband. This is someone who is the practical person. It could be an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, and or Capricorn. Could have those elements in their chart. This is someone who likes to provide. Again, if it's not you, it could be the other person. And again, it doesn't have to be male, could be female. Doesn't have to be. This is someone who looks at the practical things in life and I feel prepares, okay? So this is a provider. This is someone who they're probably brought here, could, again, I keep getting Virgo vibes here, that wants to provide a service. They want to provide something, okay? Again, could be you or could be the other person. Combined with that, we've got Buddha Prepares, okay? This is the Buddha Prepares card. Not sure if you can see that. New webcam coming soon, guys. Here we go. This is number 13 card, Buddha Prepares. So the card talks about preparing and staying calm, staying grounded before action is taken. So it's almost like combined with the King of Pentacles, one or both of you builds up a little empire, you know, builds up a pool to provide from, and maybe a sort of a savings, a money base, in order to create some stability for the future. Okay, but the Buddha Prepares is usually that balanced energy that meditates and sort of bides their time. All right, so it's like you're almost stockpiling for your future a little bit here. Again, could be you, could be the other person, but that is essentially what part of the soul contract is, where one or both of you are doing the providing. Okay, we've also got here Sangha, which is community. Okay, so this is talking about, you know, friends, family, people that are around you. It could be that maybe you were brought together from people that are around you. It could be that maybe there is a bit of a disdain or someone is not in agreement. You know, there's people that maybe look into this and think no, but there's a link with the community here, friendship, family, okay? And alongside that, we've got the karmic trench. What patterns do you have in friendships, relationships, could be you or them, where is a bit of self-sabotaging, where there's a kind of thought process that brings you to a point, and then rather than you getting past that, something happens, and then something, you know, either falls apart, or do you tend to listen to friends and family more so yourself, and therefore you know maybe relationships have, you know, ended based on viewpoints of other people rather than your own viewpoint? And if it's not you, is it them? Are they used to relying on support around them, friends and family that are, you know, giving them insight, and then they're giving them advice to do something and they're following it, and then it doesn't work out? Someone here is listening to people that maybe they need to start drawing their energy within, connecting to the higher self, and linking and deciding or discerning what is meant for you and what isn't, what advice you take and what isn't, because you've got an energy here that someone's very much serious about a relationship, and then you've also got another energy where it's kind of the opposing energy, where rather than being serious, you're putting more in investment and trust into the other people around you as opposed to your person. So again, there's a bit of a kind of balance that's needed. It's like one person's really kind of focused and trying to save and provide, and the other person's too busy seeing what other people are saying about the whole situation. You need to come together. You need to be, you know, discussing things together, because discussing it with community, that's brilliant because you're getting support. But what about your person? If they're putting all that energy and time in, now again, if this is not you, it could be your other person, but that's a lesson for them to start balancing that energy out. Okay, we've also got the master artisan. So one or both of you could have extreme creativity here. You could basically bounce ideas off each other. Maybe you've got some deep connection with the arts or something very musical, spiritual, that provokes ideas, provokes work, sort of promotes industriousness and, you know, moving forward and developing such ideas. Maybe they bring out a creative spark in you that wouldn't have otherwise been brought out. Because combined with that, we've got the waterfall. So this is a very emotional energy, very magical energy. It's talking about an abundance of creativity here that is untapped. It's like a very infinite creative energy that is at work in this connection, that is, again, if you're sat there going, I'm not at all creative in any way, shape or form, it could be them and you're bringing it out of them, and you're meant to bring it out of them, you know, take it as it resonates. And then after this, we've got Archangel Gabriel, which is the Archangel of communication. Okay, confirming about the communication here. What is it you're not discussing? Are you meant to be sort of together in order to really evolve with how you work through problems? And again, combining with that is the ascent. So this is about walking up a bit of a challenge of a mountain to change a pattern of behaviour. Don't forget we had the karmic trench. So this is about you guys coming together to change a pattern of behaviour and to wheedle out the more negative or weakness aspects that maybe you have as a couple. And don't worry, everyone else has weaknesses. We are only human, including myself. And to bring out the more positive, creative elements, you know. Maybe one or both of you are pushing for a commitment. And the lesson here, the soul contract here, is to get all these little niggles worked out before anything can be developed or, you know, established firmly. What's the soul contract, please? But there's definitely a couple of patterns of behaviour here that need looking at. What's the soul contract, please? For those who chose number 2. Was it? Yeah, it was number 2, wasn't it? Number 2. Those who chose number 2. Don't doubt this either, because I've just sat there panicking thinking, did I just choose the wrong dice? Like, don't doubt this. What is the soul? Oh, here we go. Here we go, the architect. So again, very, very kind of artistic. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So the architect, someone that builds something from the ground up, that designs something from the ground up. What is it that you or the other person is building within your own lives to develop and create as a positive influence? Because there is a positive influence here. It's allowing growth. It's allowing both parties to grow. Okay. We've also now got the Queen of Forces. So this is the Queen of Wands, very passionate, bit dualistic energy, as you've got light and dark there. Okay. Do you have air in your chart? I mean, look, this suggests air, but this is a very dualistic energy. do you, I mean, look, to me, this always reminds me of an air sign because of the duality within it, but it's typically a one, you know, wands. Is there something around you that, again, do you tend to doubt yourself? Are you tuned in? Are you tuned in? Are you balanced within your intuition? Can you usually discern fact from fiction? Because again, we've got the Akashic field here as well. This is the Ace of Wands. It's like, do you trust yourself enough? Is that why you're going to friends and family to ask what their opinions are? Are you, and if it's not you, it could be them. But the person who does that, do you sort of tend to put more faith and trust in the friends and family giving you advice than the other person? Because maybe that's what brought you guys together, to sort of close out that cycle. So also with the Queen of Forces, this is someone who can bring change, who can manifest. It's like someone who is able to sort of, well, create a difference. This is someone who usually is very kind of in tune. Well, specifically this card I'm getting, as well as, I'm not sort of talking traditional kind of Queen of Wands, but this is usually someone who can harness a lot of energy and use it. Now, with the One of Forces, which is the Akashic field, this is almost like a manifestation technique or tool. So with the two combined, it's very much like there's one person within this soul contract here who, it could be that the other person's here to provide for them while they, you know, consult their dreams. And it's like, again, that artisan energy and that architect, it's like they're here to support you to fulfill your dreams, or vice versa. One or both of you could have a lot of manifestation ability, a lot of ability to create, and the other one's there to do the practical support. You know, it's like vice versa. It's like you're both supporting each other for your career aspirations, and this soul contract looks like it's meant to support that. But it looks highly beneficial based on those last two cards as well. What's the soul contract? What is the soul contract? What is the soul contract, Spirit? Those who chose number 2. Those who chose number 2. What is this? Okay. Yeah, this is talking about healing ability, the initiation of Sandraman. This is potentially someone, both of you, sparking an upgrade within your intuition that, again, this person contributes and aids you to do it, either you or them or both. One's the practical driving force, the other one is maybe the creative element that is going to drive this through. You guys could also be doing something on a bigger scale, because you've got the Archangel Gabriel on the ascent with the Queen of Forces, the King of Keys. This could be a mission work for you guys that is very humanitarian energy, whereby you're meant to work together within a relationship, obviously, ideally, to create change and to drive. It's like this is about communication, like world change, you know, that kind of environment, energy, the earth, balance, to provide balance. Let's go with the Oracle of the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and let's get some more information. For those who picked pile 2, what is the soul contract, please? The person watching and the person they're thinking of, what is the soul contract they have between them? For those who picked pile 2, those who picked 2, please, number 2. What is the soul contract? The soul contract, please. Contract for group 2. Group 2. Two men and that person. For those who pick group 2, what's the soul contract? Thank you. I'm just trying to see what else Spirit are giving me while I'm shuffling this, but okay. Soul contract, please. Excellent. Excellent. Who is the driving force in the relationship? I feel like that could also come into question. Who is the driving force? Who wants to lead? Who wants to... It's like you guys are trying to get your roles set. It's another thing that you'll be learning about. Could be doing charitable work. There is definitely something around power and control with this, but we've got discrimination and ostentation here. So you guys could be brought together to discern exactly what it is you want, and this person maybe draws it out of you, or they do, you know, to you. Butterflies are about change, but this is about really understanding yourself and your other person, and it's like that person brings your own individuality out of you, and you can understand yourself fully. Ostentation is about usually material success, sort of having luxuries. Okay, so again, it could be that you're learning to treat each other and yourselves better through each other based on this spark of exchange that you're having. We've also got manipulation reversed here, so again, could have been in other manipulative relationships, or just positions where you didn't quite feel able to be yourself. That's in reverse though, confirming that is the originality. So you're both potentially being sparked here to have your own voice, if not, you know, one than the other, and to do things your own way. And again, this is Aquarius energy, so very much the humanitarian, very forward thinking. This is very driven energy. This is very go-getter kind of, I'm going to tackle the world. I don't know, maybe one or both of you would say that. But we've also got exaltation and charity. Okay, so exaltation is usually very beneficial. This is usually a blessing. There's usually something that comes from that. With the charity, it could well be that you're pulling your efforts and energy creatively into building something that is going to benefit everyone. A soul mission, a project that is going to really help you guys, and actually you do it together. That's what you're here for. Then lastly, we've got power and control. So maybe previous lifetimes you've had an experience similar, whereby maybe one or both of you sort of lost sight of the end goal, where you're helping people or pooling your efforts or having that creative edge, and you lost sight of that for your own sort of interest. We've got power and control there. So just asking you to have a look at what is the balance of fairness within this connection. Are both, you know, you're equally taking time to understand the needs of the other person and balancing that. You know, is there a gender expectation, and if so, are you both happy with it? Are both people serving the roles in the relationship as intended? That's all the stuff that's going to be sort of looked at within this kind of energy until you can balance it all out and reach end goal point. So we'll have a look at what that will be in a second. One sec. Okay. Soul contract, please. What is the soul contract? What is the soul contract? Yeah, it's about not projecting that onto the other person. Your expectations in a negative way. We've got assertion in reverse. So it's about learning discernment between your needs and what is serving you and what doesn't. And to clarify, we've got patience. So this could be a bit testing sometimes for you guys, but the important thing is to maintain patience. Okay, don't sacrifice your principles for fortune and or enterprise. We've got enterprise and fortune in reverse. Make sure that it's serving everyone within the connection. Again, I'm getting really heavy past life vibes here, where you also had a similar mission potentially, and again, one or both of you maybe sacrifice your needs and the other's needs in order to gain the work front more along the financial side as opposed to the spiritual side. Again, be aware, just be aware, you know, I'm not saying that's going to happen this lifetime, but just be aware that there's something, it's bigger than that, you know. It's like, and if this is not you and this is the other person, then lead by example. You know, you can't sort of expect people to change, but it could be that that's a sticking point for them to learn as part of your connection. What am I going to go to next? Let me see. Let's pull, in fact, what cards I want to go to next here. Yeah, let me go to the, I think this is the Energy Oracle deck. No, this is the Wisdom Oracle deck. So, what is the soul contract that number 2 has with their person they're thinking of, please? What is the soul contract or contracts? What is the soul contract or soul contracts, please? Between them and the person they're thinking of. What is the soul contract? Number 2, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, healing. There's also an element of healing to this. This is to the Sea card. Okay. Again, it could be about rewriting previous patterns of behaviour with other relationships where, you know, there was things, maybe sort of unequal power, or people that were sort of, you know, there's a bit of a balance of selflessness via selfish, you know, versus selfishness. Deep knowing. So you guys are there is a deep spiritual connection here. There is definitely something you guys have been brought together to do from what I'm seeing here. You've got the owl sat on the moon. Okay. Deep knowing. What is the soul contract, please? Number 2. What is the soul contract? Wow. This is essentially very kind of twin flames, you know, high level soulmate card. This is the Law Heart. This is almost like you guys are kind of built to be together. Okay, got 2 owls that are obviously connected. Beautiful card. Let's see, what is the soul contract? Chance of offering a new life as well. Okay, this is about fresh starts and something that hasn't been done. You guys are going to build something that is very different, very new. Again, the very inventive energy, very original, but it's based on yourselves and your kind of, you know, partnership together. Okay. So this is about a collaboration where there's a balance between, you know, who's in charge of who and who leads what. It's about kind of getting that balance right. Okay, I'm going to go with Keepers of the Light deck. Let's see what they have to say about outcomes. Let's see. Let's see what the outcome is. Those who picked pile 2, please. For those who picked pile 2, dice number 2. What is the soul contract they have with the person they're thinking of, please? What is the soul contract, please? The person they're thinking of. Dice number 2. What soul contract do they have? Thank you. Wow, I love this card. This is Bridget. Okay, this is inner strength. This is the Celtic goddess. She was very much that kind of powerful female energy. It says, move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. This is, in fact, I think even the country England was named after this lady here. Let me just go to the book though. But she was a force to be reckoned with. She was a very fiery, very stood up for the right of things, you know, very much that kind of groundbreaking, pioneering energy, all right, very much similar to this. So I feel like potentially you guys will be similar. It says inner strength. Bridget is a Celtic goddess of Ireland who is closely associated with the fire in the time of spring. She's a twin flame of Cernus. She was so well loved by the Celtic people that when Christianity came to Ireland, she was adopted as saint of holy wells and other places. She's a powerful figure who can help us channel our energy into something that is important for our growth. And as she herself has lasted through the ages, she adds longevity to our journey so that we can each reach a deep state of wholeness. You can call upon her to bring her sacred flames to burn away anything that is not serving you and to bless new projects you have in mind and for support with fertility. The spiritual fire is growing within. Recognise the power of your soul is greater than you think. You've come a long way since you began the journey. There is a powerful force within you and you have the ability to create wonderful changes in your life and inspire those around you to do the same. Be aware of new projects, opportunities and fertile ideas that can grow into something larger than you may imagine. Call on the fiery goddess Bridget to light the way ahead. She was a freaking... I love her energy. She is definitely one of those energies that is, for me, I can connect with her. Not so much for all the other people in this deck, but yeah. Okay, let's see. So what is the soul contract, please, for number 2? What is the soul contract? Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of cards. So yeah, this is the Keeper of the Light Oracle deck by Lily Moses and Carl Gray. Number 2, please. Wow. This is, again, they're talking about intention. This is about manifestation again. Diana, focus intention. It says, think about what you desire, set your sights high, expect the best possible outcome. So this is, you know, that woman who, she shoots her shot, you know. This is the archer who shoots for the target and hits. This is a very high energy connection that is about bringing about a huge change and channeling so much energy into. This is not only a love connection, this is like mission work, you know. It feels very twin flamey. Let's read Diana. Think about what you desire, set your sights high, expect the best possible outcome. Diana is a Roman moon goddess of the hunt. She is also known as Artemis in Greek mythology, where she has similar attributes. She is often depicted with wild animals around her, and as she is associated with the moon, she connects deeply with the wild beasts that come out at night. She's often seen holding a bow and a quiver of arrows, which signifies her ability to help us focus on a vision. She also helps us tune into our intuitive side so we can listen to the wisdom that will guide us towards our goal. In particular, she encourages women to move into their true power and promotes equality for all souls. Move forward with unwavering faith, knowing that the universe is supporting you. Diana is helping you awaken your divine ability to manifest what you deserve. Any fear is only a reminder that whatever you're working on or through is an important issue for your growth. Your focus is strong now and will be particularly powerful at the full moon, which is on the 25th of December. And if you're watching it after that, because it is timeless, then obviously check Google. And I think it's in Gemini, or no, it's in Capricorn, I think. Don't hold me to that. I think it could, no, it isn't. Yeah, it's in Capricorn. This is because your angels and guides are sending you important messages that you may be missing during the day due to a busy schedule. Set some time aside to do a deep meditation to receive the guidance. So I feel like you guys are, again, with the Akashic field and the Queen of Forces, it's like you guys are channeling a lot. Probably information not just for you but for the partnership. So they're just basically saying, like, keep an eye out for that, because you're going to be getting a lot more almost attunements. Okay, so let's use the dice here. Let's use the dice. So for those who pick number 2, please, what is the soul contract with the person watching this who picked part 2 and the person they are thinking of, please? Thank you. Wow. I'll show you what I pulled. So it's Sagittarius energy. Very much that forward thinking, fiery, forward, sort of that visionary energy, travel. Again, could have something, you know, I mean, look, we're in Sagittarius season at the moment. So between now, when you're, obviously, if you're watching this at another point, it could be the next Sagittarius season. But so if you're watching this very sort of close to when I post, it'll be between now and the 24th, I think, or 25th of December. No, it's before that. I think it's the 21st or 22nd of December, but check that. There's something significant that's going to develop around this connection here, around Sagittarius season in general, or this Sagittarius season. I'm hearing you'll be surprised. So again, looks like you've got a bit of a surprise coming to you here with this, but they're saying it's all good, it's all positive. So very nice. So anyway, guys, hopefully that's been of some help. Thank you to all those who've obviously watched my videos and shared, subscribed and liked. Thank you, means a lot to me. Thank you for listening. I'm going to be posting videos Monday to Friday. Okay, so we're going to look at astrological placements for January, starting from the 27th of December. Obviously, we're going to be doing other pick cards between now and then. And yeah, have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. Take good care. Bye. Hello for all those who picked number 3. This is going to be your reading for what is the soul contract that I have with them. What's my soul contract that I have or you have with the person that you were thinking of at the beginning and now. So those who chose number 3, what is the soul contract for those watching, please? Spirit. Let's get started. This is a timeless video. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And what is the soul contract that the person's watching this video who chose number 3? What is the soul contract for the spirit? between them and the person they are thinking of. Thank you so much. What is the soul contract? What is the soul contract? Interesting. One last card and then we'll get started. What is the soul contract, please? For number 3. Perfect. Very intuitive bunch, I feel, possibly watching this. Okay, so first of all, we've got the King of Keys. This is very much that kind of King of Pentacles energy here. It's usually a provider, someone who father figure or father, maybe a husband, wants to provide, wants to, create a stability, a wealth for the partnership at hand. Okay, could be an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Alongside that, we've got the increscent moon. Okay, 6 of Keys. Okay, I feel like this is about developing something here that is going to serve long term. All right, it's like this is a partnership or soul contract where it's built to last with both of these energies. The increscent moon is essentially a sort of a newer moon here, which obviously fulfills the cycle after sort of, from the beginning to the end. So it's usually about the initial stages of building something for it to come to to an end result, an end fullness of energy. And obviously moon being emotions, this is about, an emotional connection that is being built here, that is built to last, essentially. Now, interestingly, we've got the Buddha prepares, which is about a waiting period. This is about, balance, waiting, having patience, in order to allow what is needing to happen to develop, to wait for it to come to completion. Yeah, to wait for it to come to completion. It's interesting because it's combined with Hilarion card. Hilarion is usually that channel of energy that it's like, researchers, people that study usually have that connection to Hilarion, that deep research. It's like they're the channel for that kind of very scientific energy and scientific information. It's like the Buddha prepares and Hilarion. It's like, first of all, definitely I'd be connecting with Hilarion. I'd been asking Hilarion to come forward and talking with you. This is about a development of knowledge that is going to be built up, and it's not just in any one area. It's a combined effort of focused, in-depth information that one or both parties will be building up in order to not just have that emotional security or practical security. It's a mental security. So you've got emotional, you've got practical, and you've got mental. The only thing you haven't got at the moment is the fire, okay? But we'll wait and see what else is happening. So you've got a lot of different, very strong connection points here around this connection that is meant as growth. This is a very much a growth energy, helping you to understand yourself and to progress and evolve. This is a very progressive connection, and the reason it's been brought together is in order for both of you to evolve. Next card we've got is the King of Roses, essentially King of Cups. This is very much the father again. It's like that kind of emotional, watery energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that wants to be there to provide. Okay, that wants to fulfill an emotional duty. It's interesting how they've given me that. And it's interesting because the King of Roses also came with the Sands of Time. So it could well be that maybe at this point in time you're sat there thinking, well, they don't show me anything. Don't forget we had the increscent moon, which is about that evolving of emotions over a period of time. And then when it does evolve, they are free to feel comfortable. It could be that you guys have been brought together to bring out emotions of each other that you wouldn't normally have had, that maybe others weren't able to draw out of you or the other person, as well as being able to have that security within the practical sense and the mental sense and the spiritual sense. Now, interestingly, when I said where the last thing we don't have is fire, here is the lightning bolt. This is that surge of very, very direct energy here that is creating a spark. Okay, this is a very strong, passionate energy which is sent to light things up and sort of really get things going, and it's a very dynamic kind of energy. And again, we've got the Queen of Forces alongside that. This is someone very intuitive that is dealing with duality, the dualistic elements of day and night, light and dark, heaven and earth. This person could well be kick-starting you, or maybe you to them, to start the passion, to start a development. You know, again, maybe you're the one that's sort of developing something in a spiritual level and they're the more practical one. But it's like you're both combining your strengths and weaknesses to merge. It's almost very alchemical. It's a very alchemical thing. So we've got lots of different elements here that are being brought together to build one. You know, obviously the fifth being spirit. Let's pull some more cards. It's just a very good all-round energy with this. What is the soul contract, please? What is the soul contract? Yeah, understanding worth. Understanding what worth is. The treasure. Maybe you've before valued, I don't know, emotional support, and now you're beginning to understand that you value more mental support or something. And again, maybe them to you, but it's allowing you to question your principles, your worth, how you view your worth, what your worth is. And it's creating something new because of that alchemical kind of energy that is built. It's like you're taking your old carbon copy of what you thought you wanted, changing it up, switching it into something else that both suits you, and merging together with it. It's a really interesting energy, very progressive energy. But it's meant to. It's meant for your soul growth. This is a connection of soul growth, big time. This is very much about soul growth. What else can you tell me about the soul contract? Okay, could be a bit of ego involved, you or them. And when I say ego, it could be that, I don't know, maybe one or both of you has an insecurity, and looks at the other one like they can do that better, or you know, I can do it better than them. And again, don't forget, everyone has an ego. This is just about how you mold it and how you use it. Okay, so don't sort of sit there and go, is she insulting me because she's talking about the ego? It could be that this is challenging your ego to mold it down. Maybe you've done lots of work on your ego, and this is serving to really take that edge off and mold it into a way that is helpful for you or them. Take it as it resonates. Almost like there's a humbleness behind this, where you guys are really, it's like you're evolving at a really high level, but there's something about your humbleness that is being learned by all this, because it's like you know how they talk about rocks when it's being sort of, you know, there's a lot of water battling against rocks and it shapes that water. This feels like a very emotional connection that is shaping, and not in a bad way, things that are going to essentially allow better things based on that change. And it's not to say, well, I don't want anyone changing me. We all change, otherwise we would die. And I know that sounds very black and white, but essentially that is why we're here. We're here to change. This is an evolution essentially, and this is part of the contract that you're actually meeting by this connection. Is actually meant to be that case, you know. It's actually meant to be that way. What is the soul contract, please, Spirit? What's the soul contract, please, for number 3? Number 3, soul contract, please, with the person they're thinking of. Okay. Wow, family as well. We've got a bird's nest. So you guys, family, you will be starting a family if you choose to do that. If you don't choose to do it, this is about building a community, you know, people around you, the home, creating a busy home, a welcoming home. I don't feel like that card's for everyone, but I feel like this is an element of this, if that makes any sense. Let's pull from the Oracle of... Yeah, let's pull from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. For those who picked pile 3, please, Spirit. What is the soul contract, please, that they have with their person that they're thinking of? For number 3, what's the soul contract, Spirit? What's the soul contract here? Thank you. Ah, this is lovely. This is really nice. This is actually really nice. I think you guys would have a very nice friendship, first and foremost. It's like you've built a nice foundation here. There's also a strong devotion that is being built from this to stand the test of time. And it's rich based on the fact that we've got friendship and riches. This is the riches card here. Okay, but then we've also got friendship. So this is about starting at grassroots, you know, being friends first and foremost. Okay. Then we've got the devotion card, which is, I mean, look, that's essentially soul contract marriage. This is about partnership, marriage, you know, being a kindred type spirit, you know. An enterprise is usually an investment in that. Someone who's invested in to that connection for a reason, a very deep contract, you know. The one thing here, though, is we do have a bit of drama again, where maybe a bit of arguments, all right, maybe a few arguments over power struggles or something. Again, with the drama card, we've got egotism. Okay, so just watch what triggers with this, because again, it's meant to help growth as opposed to insult, you know, saying you've got this huge ego or anything. I'm just saying it's, you know. And this is the thing, it's like you guys should be able to navigate around this relationship without being worried what the other one's doing. They are asking for one or both of you to have more faith in the independence when you're, you know, you don't have to sort of, just because you're in a partnership, just, you know, be solely around that person. You can have your own individuality here. But this is the independence card, and we've got secrets in reverse. So it's usually sort of just saying that don't fear when they're not around you. You know, this doesn't have to, it could be you or both. If you're having more independence, it doesn't mean to say they don't want to spend time with you. Maybe you're having that issue now. Maybe that's a sticking point where the drama comes in. It's just, and maybe that's where the ego comes in, where you're thinking, well, why don't they want to spend time with me? It's not that. And again, take it depending on who it resonates with, you or them. It's not that. I feel it's you guys need to come apart, and it's like a regeneration happens when you come apart. You get stronger, then you come back together. I think if you were to sit in, you know, each other's pockets, it would just blow up, you know, because obviously you're two individuals. So it's about learning discernment with understanding that there's a connection, a deep connection, and that you are building it with each other. And there's an alchemical process when you're around. It's like they spark you, you spark them. Not just in any one area, like I said before, but in lots of different areas. But it's about having faith that you can still you know, do your own thing, come back together, and then, you know, have a working partnership together, as well as a family. There is definitely a timing thing here. I feel like one or both people are trying to wait things out to see how to sort of settle things down. Maybe there's been a lot of rocky kind of starts, or rocky, you know, it's been a little bit rocky maybe in this partnership, and so maybe you're debating whether or not it's going to be viable. But from what I'm looking here, it just needs you guys need to make sure you have breaks. But the soul contract is as an soul evolution contract that serves a multifaceted development of both souls, and also having children coming together. And if it's not kids, then it will be a start of something, a growth, a new thing that you're building as a couple. You know, maybe you have individual projects individually, independently, and then you come together. But the devotion card is here, and that's usually very much signaling to me strong partnerships. But then with the friendship card as well, I'm also hearing jealousy. Don't get suckered into jealousy. So if you or the other person is getting maybe sort of caught up in that trap, again, check the ego there. Again, not to say that, you know, that's an insult. It's just a fact. Unfortunately, we all have egos. It's about, like I said, allowing those to not rule you, you know, working with them as opposed to letting them rule you. Let's get a few more cards. What's the soul contract here, please? Birth card's just fallen out. What is the soul contract, please? Yeah, this is about creating order, establishing an order of things without, you know, one person jumping over the other, or you feeling hard done by, or they're feeling hard done by. And again, with the birth, it's like there's new promise, there's I mean, children first of all, but if that isn't for you, then again, something new, a new spark, a new order, a new kind of way of doing things, a new way of being. You know, it's like that person brings another element to you, or you to them, that creates that, again, this very alchemical energy I'm getting here. Make sure as well that, because we've also got here, we've got harmony. Okay, so this is again very beautiful card, very much balanced energy. That's the sun in Libra. Very good for partnerships, talks very much about that kind of long-term partnership. We've got negotiation and risk. So again, this is about working through, negotiating your values, their values, taking it in together, merging them. Okay, so maybe you don't like discussing your issues or your situations because it descends into an argument. That's, again, a part of the soul contract where it's asking you to work through them in a way that is not sparking all kinds of, you know, drama. Work through them in a harmonious manner, as opposed to letting things like that rule you. Okay, let's pull some oracle cards, then we'll do the dice. Okay, so let's go with the Archangel card deck for outcomes, please, for number 3. What's the soul contract between those who chose number 3 and the person they are thinking of, please? What is the soul contract, Spirit, please? What's the soul contract? Whoa. Wow. Healing. Chakra clearing. Call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. There could have been, like I said, with this emotional energy that's on this like slow burning type of vibration, that's maybe why they've put you together, because it's like the energy is not all at once. Maybe one of you is not as open with their emotions as the other, because I feel like if it did happen like that, it would just be a bit overwhelming based on previous heart hurts and maybe healing that you or the other person or both of you need to do. If your question at the moment is, well, how do I bring this together? The chakra healing is probably going to be the first point of call, okay? Have a look into that, because it's about merging. This is about union, okay? So the clearer you are, the clearer the connection will be, essentially. Okay, and this is also about peace. How beautiful. Okay, peace always comes from remembering that only love is real. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. That's strong energy right there. Beautiful energy. This is about a harmonious connection that is built over a certain period of time, so that both parties are happy, rather than a quick burn, blow up, and then off you go, you know, or arguments, fireworks, and then, you know, it's like there's an it's not just the same arguments. If you are having the same arguments, it's like, you know, it's things that are cyclical, is it? There is a movement up. It's like maybe you're looking like you're going in circles, but is that not just a test? Is this not part of the soul contract? Maybe it's asking you to bide your time to kind of heal with yourself first. But there's definitely a strong soul contract here. Okay, so let's have a look. Pile number 3. Dice 3, please. What is the soul contract, Spirit? This is the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards. Yes, I'm using lots of new decks. And I'm not going to do any more new decks for a while. And the reason being is because I may have to travel somewhere next year, and I don't fancy carrying 17 million decks on an airplane, because I know me, I would carry only decks and no clothes, because I'll be like, no, I'm just going to put all of those in my suitcase. Anyway, yeah, it won't affect my work. I'll still obviously be recording on YouTube. Maybe I might need a sort of a day off here or there, possibly, but I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know. Okay, so for number 3, please. For number 3. For number 3, what is the soul contract, please? For those who put number 3 and their person they're thinking of. Wow. How amazing is that? Supreme protection. Green Tara, you are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation. Trust. This is someone who has got your back. Boom. That is brilliant. Let me just read. I want to read the card for this, because I don't know, I feel like I'm guided to. Legend has it that Avalokitesvara, the personification of perfect compassion, was looking down on the earth one day and cried tears when he witnessed all the suffering in the world. Great, that got me. When the okay, why do I feel like crying? Right, hang on a minute. When the tears hit the earth, a lotus formed. This is getting me right in the heart chakra. If you're not crying, I mean, I don't know who I'm picking up on then. When the tears hit the earth, a lotus formed from which Tara, the goddess of compassion and light, was born. She has many forms based on different colours, and we have chosen green in this oracle because she brings a light of protection and safety with her. Always compassionate and loving, she helps us move into a new state of being and doing. You are safe, protection is all around you. The worst is behind you and you're ready to move beyond the challenges that were set out for you. Cords are being cut between you and your past so that you can feel energetically clear and aware. Don't worry about recalling fearful experiences. They aren't going to be recreated now. Just acknowledge them and leave them behind so you can step into a space of spiritual and personal freedom. I'm going to cry. Green Tara has placed a force field of complete love and acceptance around you. She is here to tell you that you no longer need to build up walls around your heart and that it's safe to trust what you feel and who is in your life today. Oof. That actually finished me off. I'm just hearing dream a little dream with me. I don't know why. It's a message for someone. Wow, that's actually got me right there. I feel like crying. This is really so sweet, this energy. It's like really very beautiful energy. Very, very compassionate, very kind of embrace. It's like an embrace, an energetic embrace. It's like I feel like this person would make you feel safe and wants to make you feel safe. You're both here to do that for one another. Right, let's roll the dice before I want to. I feel like crying. Oh my goodness, I keep doing that in readings. Hang on. Obviously, I don't actually cry. I just kind of sort myself out before I do. But right, let's roll the dice here. So let's see what your dice has to say. Number 3. What's the soul contract, please? What is the soul contract? Those who chose number 3 and the person they're thinking of. Oh my goodness. This is yet another reference to the moon. Okay, this is very much... No. Okay, so first of all, we've got a full moon coming up on the 25th in Capricorn. But there could be a link towards Cancerian season. Okay, which is the July period. Okay, so it'll be this sort of 23rd roughly of June up until the sort of 24th of July roughly, 22nd, 23rd of July. If that doesn't resonate, look out for next year around that date. It could be also that you have Cancerian energies, they do, but there's something very... I want to cry. This energy, it's very... There's something emotionally so deep about this connection. It's like it's peeling back all the layers of hurt that has happened, and they're there to make a difference in how you're viewing your emotional world and to heal you. This is about emotional healing, and they're doing it in such a good way. It's like you're both helping each other to heal. This is another part of your contract. This is amazing. Guys, hopefully that's been of some help. Thank you so much to everyone who's obviously subscribed, liked and been sharing videos. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I do post videos Monday to Friday. We're going to be doing lots of bits and pieces, pick a cards between now and the 27th of December. At that point we'll be looking into the energies for January astrologically. We are going to be looking at 2020 as well in the pick of cards, and also the next decade actually. But as I say, if you want any suggestions for the pick of cards, just leave a comment. I'll try and work in the suggestion as generally as I can, because obviously it can't just be specifically a reading for you on, you know, it has to be a more general reading so everyone could benefit from it, you know. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. If anything happens on this full moon for you guys, you need to let me know. This eclipse that we've got on the 26th. So yeah, guys, have an amazing December, Christmas, New Year. Take good care. Sending love. Many blessings. Bye.